What are we doing today, voice in my head? Well, I'm glad you asked. The War Department was finally sick of you bitching about fighting in the Second World War, so they've sent you to the modern war theatre instead. Jolly good, voice in my head, but what does that mean for me? Well, you're probably going to die a hell of a lot more, and you're probably going to get even more annoyed. Sounds about right, voice in my head, but what are we doing here today? Well, I'm glad you asked again. Before we go out there and start fighting in the modern war, we need to get you kitted out, so it's time for a tasting. A tasting? What do you mean, voice in my... Oh. Yes, I thought you would like that. Well, this is something I can work with. Oh, but where do I begin, voice in my head? Well, may I suggest drinks? Ooh, drinks. Well, I know you're a fan of things that are a bit more heavy-hitting, a bit more traditional. May I suggest an F1 frag grenade? Pulping handled, fragmentation, explosive. Bit of a delay on the fuse, but moderately effective. Interesting. But you know, voice in my head, when I think of drinks, I think of ciders, something more sweet. Sweetness is it? Well, may I suggest an M84 flashbang? Well, I like that idea. So, we've got drinks, but what about the starter? Well, if you follow me over here... Well, I know you're a fan of the classic Americans, the M1911s, the Browning High Powers, and I can see why. Good handling, good stopping power, 45 ACP, can't go wrong, but I highly endorse the more modern brand. May I suggest something on the Glock framework? 9mm, plastic, lightweight, easy to fire, easy to handle, very modular. Look at that, good magazine capacity. A modern classic. Well, I can get behind that. But what about the soup course? Glad you asked. Well, for soup course, I was thinking we could either go for a light soup, maybe something thin, watery, but packing a bit of punch, or something a bit more hearty, more stodgy. May I suggest the MP5 submachine gun? Well, you do know I like a thing for the Germans. Not a fan of those sights, I must admit, but easily customizable. 30 round 9mm capacity, a German classic in its finest. Option of fully automatic, semi, or burst. But, you know, voice in my head, I just can't help looking at these shotguns. 870. Well, I must admit, I am a bit of a fan of the shotguns. Something heavy duty, something robust, something tactical, something that you can just know you'll drop them dead. 12 gauge shotgun, 8 round capacity. I am a fan. Tell you what, we're gonna stick with the hearty 870, I think, for soup course. But main course indeed. Now, voice in my head, you know what I like. I do indeed, my friend. Now, I know you like the classics. You like something that can be seen on any dinner table or any battlefield around the world. You like something classical, something traditional, something robust. May I recommend the Mosin Nagant? Well, 7.62 by 54 rimfire, 5 round bolt action magazine, optional bayonet lug, iron sights preset at 100 meters. Definitely a Russian classic. But what is it? It lacks something. It lacks spice. it lacks a bit of modern spice. Spice. Spice but classical. May I recommend the SKS? 7.62 by 39 cartridge, inbuilt bayonet, easily customizable, able to have wood or synthetic stocks, able to take a variety of different rails or sights. Definitely a very hearty meal, but
I need to load.
I don't know. I like it, I really do, but I want something more profound. Something heavier. Heavier. Well, I think I can only suggest the FAL. 308 7.62 cartridge, 20 round magazine, heavy, reinforced, able to be fired semi-automatic or automatic for those spicy moments. Although I do recommend, my friend, the old semi-automatic. You just get a bit more control that way. 20 round magazine capacity, able to be upgraded with multiple sights, different classes, able to be given bipod. I highly recommend that there is nothing finer if you want something heavy duty but with a bit of spice. Dessert. Well, dessert, of course, my friend. You know me too well. May I recommend the RPG-7? Might be crude. It might be a bit less pretty than some of the more modern launches of its time. However, I can wholeheartedly endorse it. Rocket-propelled grenades, easily able to be used by even the most untrained operative, and packing a considerable punch. Well indeed. I think that sounds like a very hearty meal indeed. Although I think I might need to add a few more extra spices and things to it to, make it more personal to my tastes. Well, naturally. So, thank you very much, voice in my head. I think these are excellent choices based around my personal preferences. Happy to help. Well, good luck on murdering people. Thank you, voice in my head, and I will talk to you again another time.